Anytime you use a new art software package, it can be really kind of intimidating. And you want your students to feel like they're having victory upon victory. And so let's start off with something simple, sketching. Sketching with one of my favorite brushes, the sketch brush. So if we first just take a look at the HD pencil, or any of these pencils will do. When we draw, if we draw really light and even, and if we apply pressure, our tablets will get darker. This will stay at the same width. Others may get thicker. We can use thatching to get the effect we want. The sketch brush, shown right down here, the thing I like about it is it's really thin for details, but it does something really cool when you come back. When you double back, it connects. And if we zoom in, you see that it's actually drawing little tiny connector lines. Now it kind of looks kind of weird right now, but what we can do with that is pretty substantial. So if I go through and I am just going back and forth, I'm going to create this nice gradient shape. We go back and forth, I do it bigger and faster, and we can create large swaths of solid filled color. So let's say if we wanted to color this guy's hair, we could go just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until we have something pretty cool. Now, a couple key things about this brush. First off, it likes to stick to itself. So if I go back and then come back around and get close, it will eventually just stick to the previous thing that I went to. And this is how you can darken lines you like and ignore lines that you don't like. So if we want to take this is one way of using it, is if let's take a circle. Now we want to fill in the circle. We can just come back and forth. And because it likes sticking to itself, it'll go right up to the edge. Whereas if I were to use another brush, hitting the slanty brush, or I'm hitting the slant, if I do a circle, and I come back around and I try to fill that up with texture. Now my computer's going quite slow because I'm recording, but getting around that edge is going to be kind of difficult. Hitting slash to swap brushes. This way I can make really complex shapes and then I can go in, and so long as I don't pick up my pen, I can wiggle around between them and fill it out pretty quickly. With this webbing, I can even darken the edge just by kind of redrawing around the edge. And it doesn't even look like all those little lines when you zoom in on it. It just looks like it's nicely shaded. So we've got 3 ways of doing things. The first way is by drawing lines, and then when we like it, going back over them to darken them. If we do this quick, come back over, and this also helps us with our motor skills. So that's drawing along the edge. The second way. You'll find out this brush is actually really bad for writing anything. The second way is to have back and forward motions that go in a direction. So back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, and you can fill in large swaths. So you can either have dark lines or large swaths of color shaded. As soon as you pick up, it'll reset what it sticks to. So you see this part is not sticking to that part because I picked up. And you can make interesting textures by overlaying these. So have your students try that. And then try combining the two by creating a shape and then filling in that shape really quickly. I created the shape with what I did in number 1, and I filled it with number 2. Number 1, I'm going to go back over it, and now number 2 fills it all together. And I can go back over the outline again. Okay, great. Have the students play around. Have them do lines, picking up. Have them do lines without picking up. Have them do running over the line again to darken it. S shapes. Have them doodle around with it for a little bit. Kind of get used to it. Because, like for instance here, this is a really good rock texture. I can make it look like there's a whole bunch of rocks here just by changing the direction. So have your students experiment with the texture. I'm going perpendicular to the direction I want to go. There we go. So this looks like it could be a stone wall or something like that. Then, once you have that, we can do a fun drawing of a face. So, create a new layer. That is not the right keystroke. And do a new layer right down here. Boop. We'll talk about layers more in another series. And then we're going to hide this layer by turning off the eyeball. Okay, so now let's talk about the face. We're going to have a nice circle. It's really nice and light. And it's kind of egg-shaped. So we're going to have another part come down here. Now, how we divide the head is we have a front plane. So let's draw just a line. Let's just cut this egg in half, like so. And draw another line. This is our T. Halfway between this point and this point, do another line. Then halfway between this point and that point, do another line. So this is going to be our brow line. This is our nose line. This is our lip line, and this is our chin line. All right. Now let's do another line swooping between the brow. E. And this is going to be where our eyes go. It's right along here. So now let's make a a dot right there and a dot right there. We're going to draw a box around the dot. So this box is where our eyes are. Draw a line straight down, and it should have about room for a third box right in between. Draw 2 lines straight down, and this is where our mouth will go. So let's draw our mouth. So there's our mouth. Our nose. Let's draw a little shape down here. That's the bottom of the mouth. And then our chin. And jawline. This line back here, right along the eyes, that's going to be where we do our ear. So now we're just going to draw the eye. We're going to draw a circle and another circle. And then we're going to do a little rainbow and another rainbow. Close it off. And fill in our eyes. Just going to do a backward C for the ear. Now for shading. Draw a hairline, sideburns, and we have our face. Now for shading. I'm going to turn the opacity on my brush and to 50%. And now we're going to start shading the face. So I'm going to just shade in the top part of this box and the top part of this box. I'm going to shade a little triangle under the nose and a little square under the lip. And I'm going to draw on the shape of only the top lip and fill it in. You can even make shapes for cheeks. Now, when I shade, if I were to just do this, the chin, I kind of lose control here. You see how that kind of eats into the face? I'm going to undo, Control Z. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw just the top part of the chin and then go back and forth. And now the shadow just sticks to the top part of the chin. Same here, I'm going to draw the hairline. Draw the shape, and without lifting my pen up, I'm going to come back and I'm going to shade back and forth. There we go. It's kind of a strange head shape, but it gives us something we can work with. We can give him spiky hair, or it can be a lady. I'm going to put the opacity. Opacity is how transparent or not transparent things are. Now I'm going to give big eyebrows. Big eyebrow there. Big eyebrow there. And just darken the top. So that is our face. Again, just to go over that real quick. You have a circle. Turn it into an egg. It's an upside down egg. Draw a line down the center, like a cross. Draw another line below that. That's where our eyes are going to go. From the top of the brow ridge to the chin, make a middle line, and then make another middle line. This is going to be our mouth. This is our nose. This region is where the eyes go. And even just having two kind of blob squares, a triangle and another triangle and a line, it's already reading like a face. Ears go pretty much in line with the eyes. Do a neck. Outline the bottom of the neck. That way the shadow can go under. Don't forget the sideburns. There. Have the kids experiment with that and draw their own thing sketching on the computer.